Tennessee, Hazelwood Homestead. I'm Phyllis, and today we're going to be making baked beans that I'm going to take somewhere. Now, these baked beans are so easy to make. My daughter taught me how to make these baked beans, and everywhere she goes, she takes the baked beans. If you make these and you take them somewhere or your family eats them, they're going to ask for them every time. What I'm doing now is I have a pound of ground beef, and I'm cooking it. It will be added to the beans. So I'm getting this ground beef cooked back here. And while it's cooking, cut up a medium onion, and I'm going to put it in with my hamburger meat. You can just add it straight in here, but I like to just cook it just a little bit with my meat. I will be using 2 cans of baked beans from my local grocery store. Now these beans are a pound in 12-ounce cans. I'm going to use 2 today because you can see here my dish is pretty deep. I don't want it to look scant. If I was just making it for my husband and myself, I would only probably use 1 can. Holly makes these at all our get-togethers, and whenever we're trying to decide what people are going to bring or what everyone's going to cook, everybody decides for Holly. She never gets an opportunity to say, oh, I'll bring chocolate cupcakes, or I'll bring a cake, or she never gets a chance to say, I'm going to bring this or that, because everyone says, Holly, bring your beans. And so there you go. So I asked Holly if she would share that recipe with me, how she does these beans. Now I do believe she did tell me that she got it out of her church. I'm almost sure she said it was out of the First Baptist Church, Martin, Tennessee cookbook is where she actually got the recipe. I don't know whose original recipe it was, but I do believe she did tell me it was in that cookbook. And I never did find the recipe and never did make it, but she made it, and we all love it. Now, I know these are not going to turn out as great as Holly's, but when you make yours, I hope yours turn out as good as hers. Let me turn my burner up a little bit so we can get going on getting these beans made. You do bake them in the oven once you get all this together. I've thrown my medium Philadelphia onion in, and we're just going to let that cook. But I'm going to get the rest of these onions in and get my beans in the pan. I've also cooked me some sweet potatoes back here. Making my great grandbaby, I'm making her some sweet potatoes, some baby food. She loves sweet potatoes. She's 9 months old, and she just loves some sweet potatoes. All I do to her sweet potatoes when I make her baby food is I just bake them in the oven, and when I get them baked, I just take them out and I just mash them up. And then I give them to my granddaughter, and they put them, they freeze them. They freeze the sweet potatoes. Now, I told you these were a pound and 12 ounces. Today I have a can of Bush's brown sugar hickory. I think those are good. They have a lot of fragrance to them. We are going to be adding meat, and anytime that you add meat to a recipe, I think the hickory flavor just helps so much. This can is some I got on sale at Kroger. These are also seasoned with bacon and brown sugar. These are also a pound and 12 ounces. All right. You do not drain the beans in this recipe. Some you do, this one you don't. Our family loves baked beans. All right, I did spray this pan before I put the beans in. And we're going to put brown sugar in here. The recipe does call for a green pepper, if you want to put a green pepper in it. I don't have one. I wasn't going to go to the grocery and get one. Chop up a green pepper. Put it in your mixture here if you want to, or just throw it in on your beans. But I did not have a green pepper. And I didn't even have a red one. You could put a red one in. If you don't have an onion and you don't have, oh, I don't have an onion, you don't want to go to the store and get one, use onion powder. I would say probably, for 2 cans, I would probably say 2 tablespoons of onion powder if you want to throw that in. Now, for this amount of beans, we are going to go and get 3/4 of a cup. I've got to go over there to my cupboard and get 3/4 of a cup of brown sugar. So I'll be right back. You know that that onion cooking with that meat just starves me to death. I can just not be hungry at all. And I can smell an onion frying with meat. And then I'm just starving. That smells so good. I wish you guys could come. Maybe I'll have a cooking class one day and we'll invite maybe 20 to 30 people to my house. And we'll just cook. And then when we're done cooking, you can just sit down and eat with me. Wouldn't that be great? Oh, I would just love that so much. Now, when you're using, I don't know if you can see with all my plunder I got up here. When you're doing your brown sugar, guys, if you don't know, you got to pack it. And this is 3/4 of a cup. You don't want to just put it in there and not pack it. 3/4 of a cup of brown sugar. Now, for this amount, for 2 cans of beans. My meat is getting brown. I just want to make sure there's no pink because I am going to cook these beans. I'm going to bake them off for 40 minutes. Now, one thing about these beans, after you bake them and you get them out and you serve them, people can't get enough of them. They're just like candy. All right, 3/4 of a cup of brown sugar. And I'm just going to sprinkle that over the beans, and I'm going to work it in. I'm going to wait to work it in when my meat is ready. Look here, I filled up my jar. I was so low the last time I made a video, but I filled it up. I do not put salt and pepper in this. You can if you want to. I don't. Now, let's see about our recipe. I got to go to the fridge and get a cup of ketchup. This is not at all how I make baked beans, so I always add barbecue sauce and all kinds of stuff, but I'm going to go by the recipe today. I'm not going to go off the recipe. 1 cup of ketchup, and I add maple syrup and everything to my baked beans and bacon, but I'm not going off of the recipe because this is so good. I'm going right by Holly's recipe that she was so sweet to share with me. All right. Let's wait for this to get, I think it's about ready. I'm going to drain my grease off with some paper towels. Guys, I'm so excited about Thanksgiving, and I want to tell you that there's a lot of things to be thankful for in our lives. And if you say, oh, I don't have anything to be thankful for. I've just, you know, everything's just going wrong for me and nothing's good right now. And, you know, my health is failing, or, you know, if you've got these issues. But I do want to tell you that you can be thankful for so many things. And main thing that you can be thankful for, and I want to say this, is that God is your Savior. You can be thankful for that, and you can open your Bible and you can talk to God. You are not alone, and you need to be thankful for your salvation, and you need to be thankful for your Redeemer. So let's be thankful this Thanksgiving for all our blessings He gives us. All right, I think my meat is done. I've got the grease off. our grease off. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my meat, my onions. It goes in here like this. Holly gave me detailed instructions on how to get the beans to taste like hers. So I'm hoping that I make the mark and get them like hers. And I think I'm going to have 2 taste testers today to tell me if I made Holly's beans like Holly does. One of the taste testers will be my husband, Alan. And the other taste tester is going to be my daughter, Hope. She's coming down here in a little while. And after she's got some dogs, 2 dogs, Peaches and Pudding, we call her Pudding. And she's got to take them out and do around with them. And then after she gets them settled in, she's going to come down here and taste these beans when I take them out of the oven and tell me, yep, you can make them just like Holly, or Mom, no, you left something out. All right, so I'm going to throw them in the oven, 300, she said, 350 degrees for 40 minutes. I'll bring you back in that time frame, and I'll let you decide if you think they're going to be as good. I wish you could taste them. See how good they look? Aren't they pretty? They're just so pretty. I mean, a lot of people put bacon on top. I used to do that years ago. I'd put bacon on top and cook the bacon on the top. But today, these are Holly's and they're going in the oven. All right. Well, it's been 45 minutes, so I'm going to pull these out and see how they look. Well, they don't look like Holly's because hers are never soupy like this. So, I'm going to give them a little stir, and I'm going to put them back in. All right, guys, I'm going to put them back in for another 15. Then we'll come back and we'll look at them. All right, guys, we're going to come back in 15 minutes and look at them. They're just a little bit soupy right now. Okay, guys, we're back, and I'm going to get the beans out. The good old beans. Don't they look, the smell. The smell is incredible. They smell so good. Wish you were here. Get in your car and come on over here and just take a bite of these beans. All right, I'm going to do a taste test. And, boy, they're so pretty. Gosh. I think I'm going to have to... I'm going to have a whole meal of these. Holly makes the best beans, and I sure hope I came close to her recipe. Well, it was her recipe. But you know, when people make things, different people make different things, it tastes different. That's hot. It's very close to Holly's recipe. I call it Holly's recipe because she makes it for us. It's someone else's recipe. But make these beans. They're good with every season, every holiday. Don't just wait for Christmas or Thanksgiving. Make them tonight for your family. You saw how easy it was. And they're delicious. They really are. If you want to dry your bean, like I showed you earlier, I left them in 15 more minutes because they seemed a little soupy. If you want to dry your pan of beans, pour some of the juice out of that second can that we used, and they won't be very soupy if you want them more dry. Thank y'all so much for stopping by to Tennessee today, to my kitchen, to see me cook baked beans today. Hope you have the most wonderful Thanksgiving that you've ever had any time in your life. Make it the greatest Thanksgiving for other people, not just for you. make other people have a wonderful Thanksgiving. Reach out to people and just be with them and talk to them and love them. Happy Thanksgiving. I love y'all. Bye.